Blessings, blessings, blessings. So, I'm going to take it back to the old school and do a rising meditation. You're going to join me for a rising meditation. So, everybody that wants to meditate, stick around. Okay. Let me do a test. Let me make sure that y'all can hear this sound in the background.
Build wealth every day with Trading 212. Invest with zero commission and earn.
Can y'all hear this music in the background? Let me know if you can hear this music in the background. This is going to be what we're meditating to. You can hear it? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so this is going to be a root chakra meditation because a lot of us need our root chakras healed. Let me turn it up a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be a 3-minute meditation. Let me put it on the screen. 3-minute meditation. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go ahead and show some love to our body. Okay, so it's about to be 3:50. We're going to start this meditation in a second at 3:50, and we're going to end this meditation at 3:53. All right, we're going to start to do this a lot more, y'all. We need group meditation. That's what the energy needs right now. We need more group meditation. Okay, so expect us to start doing these a lot. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Release. All right. And close your eyes. Follow the music and follow your breath. We're going to do this for 3 minutes. Here we go. Focus on your breath. Less than a minute remaining. Just focus on your breath. Start to bring your intention back to your area and your surroundings. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Start to wiggle your fingers. And whenever you're ready, just slowly open your eyes. You can even blink open. All right, y'all. And that was our rising meditation. That was our rising meditation. And so with this rising meditation, let me give you something to look out for this week as far as astrology is concerned. All right, so this week, something that just happened that's really important is we have a Jupiter and Uranus. What soundtrack is that? So this is called, I don't know if you can see this. That's what the photo looks like. That's how you know you found it. And it's called Root Chakra Healing. Root Chakra Healing with soft hang drum music. It's by a page called Meditative Mind. Meditative Mind on YouTube. Okay. But something to look out for this week. We have Jupiter forming a conjunction with Uranus at 22 degrees, y'all. This is important. Let me tell you something that you can expect from this conjunction. The first thing that you can expect from this conjunction is expect like old systems like of finance to change. So a financial system that you are used to, but they're much older. Like think of a financial institution that's been around for a long time. They're about to go through some changes. And you can actually expect some mergers with Jupiter when Jupiter moves over to Gemini. So you can expect to hear some news from an old financial institution now, and that same institution might merge when Jupiter moves into Gemini. But you might have an old financial institution that just randomly closes. This is also going to bring about energy of like earthquakes. I think I put on Twitter 3 days ago that the earth was about to start rumbling. And right after, like probably a couple hours after that, I think it was somewhere, maybe Indonesia, someplace that got hit with like 3 earthquakes after that. And you can expect the same type of energy. This Uranus and Jupiter conjunction can also bring about, for us, we might see more death overseas, because Jupiter rules over Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules over things happening overseas, so you can expect to see some type of well, luckily it's not Mars, but you can expect to see some type of changes with when money is concerned, just like random ass changes like out of nowhere. And it could be dealing with like overseas and finances, because this is happening in Taurus. Taurus rules over money and money system and contracts. So you can expect to see new contracts. Wait, my ears are ringing. I'm getting a download. You can expect to see like new contracts or old older contracts coming to an end or new contracts beginning with like overseas are concerned. So like treaties, like old peace treaties, weapons contracts, that type of thing. Okay. And with the ascendant just turning to 18 degrees in Taurus, something can very well be happening right now as I'm speaking to you, because the ascendant is at Taurus at 18 degrees, but it changes so fast. But this energy brings in, okay, so also we have the vertex at 22 degrees, we have Lilith at 22 degrees, we have Jupiter at 22 degrees, and we have Uranus at 22 degrees. So people, right now, this is really important. If somebody were to call you and invite you someplace and it does not feel right, do not go. It can be a setup. That's what this energy brings in. Like with vertex at the 22 degree in Libra, it can be like somebody from your past, an old relationship, wanted to meet up with you, get back with you. Look out for that type of energy. It's not the right time to go, especially with Mercury in retrograde. If anybody from your past tries to link up with you, immediately no. Also with Lilith and Virgo, make sure that you are checking on your body, because with Lilith and Virgo, you can often put aside things that need to be done when it comes to your health, and that thing that you put aside can turn critical. So make sure you are checking on your health, whether it be with herbs, a herbalist, a naturalist. I don't recommend doctors. So these are a few things to look out for. You have one other thing to look out for is when Mars has a conjunction with Neptune at a 0 degree, or with the orb of 0, and this is going to happen when Mars reaches the 28th degree. When Mars reaches the 28th degree and it links up with Neptune, the first thing that you're going to hear about is abortion. I know they have things going on with abortion right now, but when this happens at the 28th degree, listen out for news regarding abortion. That's going to be the first thing you hear about. There's already things out right now, like I said, so you've been hearing about it, but expect like new news to drop. So that's one thing. The second thing, when Mars links up with Neptune at the 28th degree in Pisces, this is going to start to usher in people into their afterlife. So you have people that are on life support right now. You got people that aren't really feeling good and their energy is low. Those people are going to be taken out of the astral realm or out of the physical realm, right? So that energy is going to usher in death. This is not something that I like to talk about, but it's something that's going to happen. It can even be something like a hospital being blown up, that type of energy. It's going to have to do with the womb, because the 28th degree is a Cancer degree. And so listen out for news like an abortion clinic being blown up, like some type of protest against abortion rights, which can bring in death to like a hospital, abortion clinics, that type of thing, for like protesting rights. And when the sun links up with, when the sun catches up with Jupiter and Uranus, definitely listen out for some type of, I would say some type of changes to like the schooling system, some type of changes to, this is probably going to catch them when they're at the 23rd degree. So yeah, some type of changes to schooling system when the sun catches up with Jupiter and Uranus. I hope y'all wrote all those down. That was like 9 different things to look out for that are about to happen. So the thing you have to really understand about astrology is that it, like the elites, when they link up to decide like the world's plans, they're all using astrology like to the T. And so since Uranus, which is usually called, or Uranus rules astrology, a lot of people don't know that Uranus and Saturn, because Saturn traditionally rules over Aquarius, both of these planets are like major when it comes to world plans, right? Because they rule over the earth, they rule over the stars. Can you save the blessings, Jamie? Y'all can save this live. You guys can catch this over on YouTube. And I'm going to start doing this as much as I can, like weekly, just give you guys things to look out for. I said I want to do this over on Patreon, so I'm going to start doing this either on here or YouTube. So make sure you follow me on YouTube, because I'm going to start doing a lot longer content over there. Any questions before I get out of here as far as like astrology is concerned? If you are like 27 or you're 39 or you are even 15, like these are critical ages. What's your YouTube handle? 5D Mystery School. These are critical ages. Like even if you're 51, these are ages to where you're going to be in your 4th house perfection year. Kanye dropped Vulture's album on a certain day because his astrologer told him billionaires know what's up. Ooh, that's a fact. I'm 39. So if you're 39, you're going through your 4th house perfection year. Like your 1st house, your 4th house, your 7th house, and your 10th house perfection years are the most important. If you look up certain dates when things are dropped, like the elites, they use astrology, but they also use gematria. So they're using a combination of both these things. Okay. So for the person who said they're 22, I had to pull up the annual perfections wheel. You're in your 11th house perfection year. But if you're like 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, that's your 1st house. If you're 15, 27, 39, 51, 63, that's your 4th house. If you're 18, 30, 42, 54, 66, that's your 7th house. And if you're 21, 33, 45, 57, that's your 10th house. Your 10th house is always 369. Same thing with your 4th house, 369. Your 7th house, 369. Your 1st house, 369. These are like, that's why they say 369 rules your life. These are the most important ages that you will experience in your lifetime because they're all ruled by 369. And what does that mean? In your 1st house, when you're going through your 1st house perfection year, that year is going to be when you're focused more on personal growth, when you're going to be introverted, when you're really going to start to become your ascendant sign. Your 4th house perfection year is when you're going to be dependent on, now this depends on the sign that's in these houses for your 4th house. If it was Libra, then that year is going to be the year where you are most open for relationships and connecting to other people, right? If it was your Taurus there, then that would be the year where you're mostly focused on your finances. So that's why it's super important to know your chart or get with an astrologer, right? Because they can help you to say, you're this age, so this is what you're going to be focused on this year. They can do this a year in advance. It's called a solar return reading. They tell you everything that you're going to expect that year, right? If you're in your 7th house year, with your 4th house, this is going to also be the year that you're most connected to your home and your family. So you're going to stay at home a lot that year, and you're going to start to do research about where you come from. if it's your seventh house, you're going to be more connected to other people, relationships, interpersonal relationships, that type of thing. And you're going to vicariously live through other people that year. What was that? How did I do that? Oh, right. Yeah, that's your seventh house year. You might even go through, you might even experience like multiple contracts that come your way that year. When you're in your 10th house year, this is going to be the year when you are mostly viewed from the pub. Oh, it's 2 thumbs up, I think. Okay, got you. How come it, anyway, that when your 10th house perfection year, it's going to be the year where you have more public favor, and the public is going to start to pay more attention with you. And that's the year where you're going to like mostly be focused on your legacy. So these years are the most important years of your life. They're called your cardinal years, just like the cardinal directions, just like the cardinal winds, right? So cycles happen in 12. Cycles happen in 12. What you were doing 12 years ago is going to be what you are dealing with this year. So just think about, what was I doing 12 years ago? Because these zodiac releases, the zodiac perfections, they happen every 12 years. That's something you have to know. That's why I don't, anyway, yeah. That's why I don't subscribe to the 13th sign thing. But yeah, other ages are really important as well. But those ages are like when your life changes the most. Like I'm going through my 4th house perfection year, which means that my life is about to go through a complete change. I'm about to become somebody completely new. Like same thing if I was going through my 1st or my 7th or 10th. So you have to know what age you are so you can know if what your life is about to go through. Which age. So tell me your age and I'll tell you what year, perfection year you're going through. I'll do this for 3 people. So that way you can look at your chart and you can know, okay, let me focus on this house. Let me, how old? I'm 34. So if you're 34, you're going through your 11th house perfection year. So take out your natal chart. Since both of you are 34, look at your natal chart and look at your 11th house. Those are going to be the major themes of your life this year. 37, you're going through your 2nd house. So you look at your 2nd house. For 45, you're going through your 10th house. So look at your 10th house. Write these down, y'all. For 40, you're going through your 5th house. For 19, you're going through your 8th house. For 36, you're going through your 1st house. 25 is your 2nd house. 38 is your 3rd house. 37 is your 2nd house. 41 is your 6th house. You can also type in annual perfections wheel and all this will pop up. But I love doing this for people because it really helps you to see like, oh, wait a minute, that's why I'm going through my finances and stuff like this because I'm in my 2nd house perfection year. Yeah, exactly. These things control your life. If you're 31, you're going through your 8th house perfection year. For 43, you're going through your 8th house perfection year. So you see how 31 and 43, those are 12 years apart, So yeah, like knowing thyself is the best way. 27, that's your 4th house perfection year. Knowing thyself is the best way to navigate life because you know exactly where you're going, what you're about to experience. When something happens to you that year, let's say if it's your 4th house perfection year and you just find out that you had a cousin you never knew about, yeah, that's because you're going through your fourth house perfection year. Let's say you have Pisces in your fourth house, or even Pisces in your 10th house, and you just found out that your dad or your mom is gonna who. Well, let's just say you found out you were adopted if you have Pisces in your fourth house perfection year. Or if you have Pisces in your 10th or your fourth house, you just found out that like your dad is somebody completely different and you're going through that year. Those type of things happen, right? First of all, you have Pisces in your 10th house or your fourth house. Investigate your family because they're not telling you something. Or if you have Scorpio in your 10th house or your fourth house, investigate your family because there are some things you just don't know. But yeah, these type of things as astrologers, like we have Amber here, we have Jamie here, like they're 5D readers, so they can look at your chart and be like, oh boy, do you want the truth, right? Because they can see things in your chart as soon as they look at it. So by showing somebody your chart, you're showing somebody all of you, right? So tread lightly. But yeah, anything other than that, reach out to Jamie. She's call me Queen J. Reach out to Amber Gabrielle in here. Reach out to myself. The astrologers, this is why every quote unquote rich or wealthy person, you ever heard that term? Millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires use astrology. That's why all of these companies like Target, Tesla, they all keep astrologers on deck at all times because we know what's coming, So remember that your first house, your fourth house, your 7th house, and your 10th house are the ages that really changes your life the most. All right. So yeah, don't go with the flow. Understand the flow so you can know why you're riding that wave of life. That's really important. Because if you just go with the flow and you don't know why things are happening to you, then your life isn't happening for you, it's happening to you. But when you know thyself and you know your chart, life is happening for you. Because you know exactly, you read the instruction manual. What is this called again? This is called annual perfection. Annual perfection. So you can look up a chart, just type in annual perfection wheel, and it tells you all the ages for the houses, right? Astrologers, we have these things posted on our walls, so we can look, I have 1st, 4th, 7th, 11th, 12th house in my chart. So all houses are important. Even empty houses are important. You just have to understand how to look at them, right? So yeah, what time is it? So any questions? I still have a little bit of time in here, a little bit of battery. Haven't did it live all week, so I got a little time. Also, let me tell you a house to look out for. When you're in your 8th house perfection year, when you're in your 12th house perfection year, these years are when you are closest to spiritual and physical death. And also, if you have 18 degrees or 22 degrees in your chart, these are the years when you want to consult a reader, especially if you have 18 degrees or 22 degrees in your chart and you know that annual perfection year is coming up. You want to consult an astrologer so they can tell you things to look out for, because those degrees are degrees you do not play with. So if we can look at that degree and say, okay, These are surroundings to look out for. These are people to look out for, because those years are years that you can possibly be taken out of the game. Also, your 8th and your 12th house years are when you are closest to spiritual and physical death. That's something important to know. Just like your 5th house, your 4th house, and your 7th house years are years that you can have children, or if you have other placements in your chart that shows you're going to have children, those years are going to be the years that you should plan for your pregnancy. You know, those are things to look out for. Do you read charts? Yeah, so you can go to astro5d.com and just hit the chart analysis, and that's how you get to my readings. So let's look out for what they're, you got them giving you advice in the comments, y'all. Like, pay attention to this. I'm in Texas and experienced the eclipse. Any advice for September, Libra? I wouldn't know anything without, knowing anything about your chart. If you tell me your rising sign, then I can, usually when somebody tells me their rising sign, I see their entire chart in my head. So when you tell us your moon and your sun, I know which house your moon is in and which house your sun is in. I don't know if that's how all astrologers think. That's how I think, and that's how I, taught 5D readers to analyze these charts. That's true. I almost died last year at age 35. So you will look at that annual perfection year. For you, you will look at your 12th house year. Right, that's your 12th house year. So she almost died. Makes perfect sense. 12th house perfection years are years when you also go to the hospital or damn near a mental asylum. Cancer rising. So in a whole signs chart, you got Leo in your 2nd house, you got Virgo in your 3rd house, you got Libra in your 4th house, so forth and so on. All right. Yeah, and I sound like a broken record when I say this, y'all, but your rising sign it outweighs your sun sign, it outweighs your moon sign. Your rising sign is your personality. Your rising sign is your physical looks. So if an astrologer places more, or let me not judge astrologers. Most of us know that your rising sign is the chunk of who you are, right? Point blank, period. So all these years you've been thinking like, oh, I connect more with my sun sign. Yeah, your sun sign tells you how you deal with your inner child, how you go about children, how you go about your creative art, expression, and other things. Your source of inspiration. That's your sun sign. Your rising sign is your inner dialogue, is your personality, is what other people meet when they first meet you. That's your first impression on other people, your rising sign. So when people meet me, they think I'm a Scorpio because I wear black pretty much every day. So yeah, you might not know it, but this is why Libra risings are always beautiful appearances. You can't catch a Libra rising slipping. Their nails are always done, their face is always done, their feet is probably always done. That's a Libra rising. Cancer rising, super emotional beings, right? They got Cancer in the 1st house, Capricorn risings, very serious personalities. They are the oldest in the room, unless you got Saturn in your 1st house. But Capricorn risings, very old, very old appearances, very old attitudes and expressing themselves. That's a Capricorn rising. Sagittarius rising, the life of the party. They're going to take you on adventures that you never expected. That's a Sagittarius rising. And they're wise because they're ruled by Jupiter. So also, with knowing your rising sign, know that this is the sign that rules your entire chart. So that is the planet that rules your entire chart. So that planet is you're going to be affected by the most. That planet is going to hold the most power. If you're a Scorpio rising, then traditionally you're ruled by Mars. In a modern astrology, you're ruled by Pluto. So you're ruled by Mars and Pluto. If you're a Aquarius rising, traditionally you're ruled by Jupiter, Saturn. In modern astrology, you're ruled by Uranus. So if you are an Aquarius rising, you're ruled by Saturn and Uranus. These are things to know. Yeah, listen, if you know somebody that's a Taurus rising, a Libra rising, or if they have Venus in their first house, beautiful, beautiful people. Or Venus in their 10th house, beautiful people. Or their 4th house, or their 7th house. If you have Venus in a cardinal house, yeah. I have 6 cap placements though. Oh, yeah. So, and they are all in my first house. So you're in very old soul. And also, that's very psychic energy, because the ancients said that you're a true Saturnian, first of all. Especially if Saturn is one of those planets that's in your first house. You are the epitome of a Saturnian. You are a serious person. You work a lot. Like, working is up there with breathing for you. Your career comes first, right? And you also just have a serious personality. If you're a Capricorn stellium in your 12th house, oh my God. Yeah, that's serious. But that, when it's in your 12th house, it's unbeknownst to you. So you don't know why it's happening. Ancient, and I'm hoping this is my last reincarnation. People who have Capricorn in their first house or Saturn in your first house, yes, especially if your South Node is in your first house, listen, you've been doing this for lifetimes. If you have Saturn conjunct your South Node, or if you have Saturn in your first house in Capricorn, you've been doing this for lifetimes. Like for as long as you can remember. Even if it's in your 4th house, lifetimes. Your family has been reincarnated in here for lifetimes. Stellium just means when you have 3 luminaries, 3 planets that's in one sign or one house. That means that in your life, that's going to be a focus in that energy, depending on what planets are there. Yes, been here so many times. I be trying to tell people exactly. When you're old soul, you just know things. Like, somebody can ask you a question, and you'll just know the answer without knowing how you know the answer. That's an old soul. Old souls are these are the most clairvoyant, claircognizant, like psychic type of energy, because their soul has a collection of memories that they're able to pull from, especially if their pineal gland is decalcified. Right? I think I was here in the 17th century. Oh, I really need to get my chart. This chat is so amazing. Yeah, I'm telling you. If it's not me, get with an astrologer that you trust. Honey Astrology on YouTube is really good. And True Brilliance has been doing this for longer than for the past probably 15 years on YouTube. No, probably you can find a video from her that goes 10 years back, you know. So there's a lot of astrologers that you should just find out if they vibe with your energy. It's important when you choose an astrologer, you choosing somebody to help guide you in this life. Like, you have a soul contract with them, whether you know it or not. So you have 5D readers in here, you know. But when you do get a natal chart reading, please make sure that your birth chart information is accurate, because if it's not, then you're not going to receive the correct information. So make sure the time that you were born, the place that you were born, your birth date, all of that information is accurate, so that they can give you an accurate reading. Pam Gregory on YouTube is good too. See, yeah, choose astrologers that you trust, most definitely. Especially astrologers that's been doing this for a while, you know? Yeah. Like if you've been following me for a while, you would see back in 2015, I was laying in my backyard in the leaves, telling you all about, Jupiter and Saturn. I was doing the same thing I'm doing now, like almost 10 years ago, so it's some of us, it's our life. It's not for clout, you know. Yeah. So yeah, man. This runs your life. Like this astrology is your life. It's your instruction manual for your incarnation. So for example, one thing I can tell you is that if I have any Scorpio risings in here, you're probably feeling really moody because the moon is in your first house. So any Scorpio risings, I know that you're feeling moody because the moon is in your first house, right? Just like for Sagittarius risings, you're going to be next, right? The moon's going to be in your first house. So knowing these things, knowing where, looking at your transits, that's what we call them. Looking at your transits will show you what you're dealing with in life and why. Nothing ever happens to you by mistake. Absolutely everything that you experience in this incarnation is divinely orchestrated by the luminaries in the firmament. You don't have to believe it that way that I believe in it, but just understand that astrology, since the beginning of time, has ran everything. The Bible is an astrology book. It's just coded in a different language. So yeah. Also, like certain placements, like I said, like having Uranus in Sagittarius, having Uranus even in Pisces, like you're somebody that can look at your chart and just understand it because you're made to do it. So, any questions before I get out of here? I'm always saying that the Bible is literally speaking astrology and metaphor. Yeah, that's what the Bible is. It's just a book about astrology. So people who go to church are devout Christians. They love astrology. They just don't know it, that they love astrology. Yeah, that's what that is. I would piss off a Christian. Listen, I grew up a Christian. And even then, I was asking my mom about tarot card readers and astrologers, like when I was young. Yeah, that's a Scorpio rising for you. But if you look at your chart, right, like there's certain placements as an astrologer that we can see. Like when I see your chart, I see your life story. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at your 8th house and I look at your 12th house, I can see, like, wow, this is why you are the way you are, but not in a bad judgmental way, like I understand you now, like I understand why you move, why you function in this way, because that's the power of a natal chart. Like when you see somebody's natal chart, I can tell you how big your ankles are. I can tell you if you have a big neck. I can tell you if you have big legs just by looking at your natal chart, because your natal chart also describes your body, like your 3D avatar. These things, it's everything. It's everything. I can tell how you feel about children, if you have a big family, This is like, there's something called synastry. This is why I can look at, any couple like Jay-Z and Beyonce, you can look at their synastry chart and you can know how their relationship actually is versus what they show in public. Like, so synastry tells you the true connection between two souls, whether they are enemies or whether they are friends. You can see this all in the chart. Like, hey, this person has Mars at the 22nd degree in your 8th house. Are you sure you want to hang out with this person? Because you might not be alive afterwards. So do you like living? Like this type of thing. Synastry can tell you if somebody is in your life to take you out or if they're in your life to help you out. Like, this is so important to know. It can literally save your life, I love synastry as well. Listen. I don't judge anybody by their chart, but I know, like, I can never hang out with this person because they will kill me. Period. Like, your Mars at the 22nd degree is conjunct my Jupiter at the 20th. Like, no, you're going to take me out. Stop it. Stop sending me invites. What is the soul reading on your page? Everything should have a description on there, but the soul reading is for you to figure out what your North Node mission is. What is synastry? Synastry is the energy shared between two souls. The energy shared between two souls. So synastry tells you about two different souls, of their frequency is going to mesh. Because you know how two frequencies can sound like a beautiful song, or it can sound like metal music. Why would anybody listen to metal on purpose? But anyway, if your energy if it's harmonious or disharmonious. So I can see like two best friends, right? Like, oh, this is my best friend. And then I can look at their synastry chart and I can say, y'all really don't like each other. This is a front. This isn't real. That's synastry. Synastry tells you what the energy is hitting like on a deep level. Like if you're in a relationship with somebody and their moon is squaring your Mercury, nothing that they say is going to make you comfortable. You have to work really, really hard for, their voice doesn't annoy me, that type of thing. Synastry tells you all of that. So if I'm going to get in a relationship with a woman, I have to know her synastry chart before our relationship gets serious, because I can say like, hey, we're going to have a really good relationship, or we don't need to be in a relationship. Period. Me and my partner have the exact same placements, just as different degrees. Besides that's a blessing. That's like twin flame energy. Can you explain Uranus at the 22 degrees? That's usually somebody who has suicidal thoughts, has literally tried suicide. They think about it often. They've had cases of where they could have, but this also depends on what Uranus is interacting with in your chart. It's better to have Uranus at the 22nd degree than the Uranus at the 18th degree, because this would be somebody who would, oh, let's jump off the garage just for fun. All your friends jump off the garage and live. You jump off the garage and you break your neck. That's Uranus at the 18th degree. So I would never be a risk taker with that type of placement, because that risk can be your life, My husband and I are both Aquarius, very different personalities. Aquarius rising or Aquarius sun? He is my twin flame. Don't tell an astrologer that. listen, I would, if you really want to know if you with your twin flame, get a synastry reading, and either you're going to be really happy at the end or really disappointed. Don't claim twin flame unless you get a synastry reading, or else unless you're ready for a rude awakening. Cause like, damn, he's not your twin flame. That's your karmic partner. Y'all got karma to pay off with each other. So pay off your karma and get on with it. You know. That's not a check. That's a money order. You're not meant to really enjoy it. It's not yours. You know. So know if it's a check or if it's a money order in that soul contract. It's with Neptune third house. Hey, Neptune third house isn't bad. A lot of times people just don't understand what you're talking about. I have Neptune in my third house, and you know, sometimes I leave conversations and they're like, "What did he just say? What was that conversation? What was he talking about?" That's Neptune in your third house. Sometimes what you say goes over people's head, or what you say people just don't understand. I get that. Yeah, and it's in Capricorn too, so I just talk about a lot of old shit that people just don't understand. You know. But if you have Neptune in Capricorn, you are a master of alternate dimensions. That's a positive, you know. Our polar opposites in rising sign twin flames, meaning if you're a North Node Scorpio, but you're with somebody who's a South Node Scorpio, they are holding you back. They are where you have been. That type of, I've been in a relationship with that exact placement. It was a special relationship. It was a karmic relationship. Let's just say that. It was very karmic. I have Jupiter in my third house. That's a blessing. Depending on what Jupiter is connected with. Capricorn and Cancer, that's a good relationship. It depends though. If you're looking at, when it comes to relationship, I say look at what their Venus sign is, because that's going to tell you their love language. Like if somebody has Venus in their 8th house off rip, I can tell you that physical touch is their love language, but it also depends on the sign that it's in. If somebody has Venus in 8th house, well, also receiving gifts is their love language, because that's other people's money. But if they have Venus in the 2nd house, you making money is going to determine whether you stay with this person or not, because they need somebody who's about their paper. So knowing somebody's Venus sign can tell you a lot about how they like to receive love. This is why Amber and I was doing a series on your astrological love language, which we're going to continue after Mercury retrograde. What does Venus... Venus retrograde is when... That's a moment in your life when people think that you are just the most attractive ever. You can go outside in some rags and people be like, damn, look at those rags. Where'd you buy those from? You know, that's when you are the most in touch with how you look. That's when you get the most relationship offers. When you're going through your Venus return, this means that Venus is in the natal position that it was when you were born, right? Yeah. Like, if you have somebody with Venus and Taurus, again, you're going to need to be about your paper. You're going to need to be a very grounded energy to get with this person. If you have somebody that has Venus and Aquarius, they for the streets. No, I'm just kidding. If you have somebody with Venus and Aquarius, this person might like polygamy, or they just might show their love through connecting with a lot of people. I'm trying to be easy on Venus and Aquarius, just like Venus and Gemini. Well, I have Venus and Gemini, but listen, I'm just friendly. Let me switch quick. Venus and Leo, like this person has to be the center of attention most of the time. They like words of affirmation, Venus and Leo. If they say they don't like words of affirmation, they're lying. No, I'm just kidding. It depends on, like, if they, let's say they got Venus and Leo, but their Venus is squaring Mercury, then they probably don't like words of affirmation, right? So it's all about what's happening in your chart, because no two Venus placements are the same, because no two charts are the same. You can have charts that are identical. If you have people that are born like days after each other, that's pretty special. Venus and Capricorn, you like older people. You like people who are structured. You like people who are disciplined. You know, you like old souls. Venus and Virgo, you like smart people. You like people who are Venus and Virgo. They might want to see all your tests before you have sex with them. They will. A Venus and Virgo will ask you so many questions before they eat. Like, they need to know everything about this relationship, where we're going, why we're going there. Venus and Pisces, oh my God. A Venus and Pisces is like, my phone is gonna die, so I'm gonna have to cut this short. I think I got a couple minutes. Venus and Pisces, they love to be chased because they don't even know what they want. You know, like, you have to really hook a Venus and Pisces in, because they're not, most of the time, they're in alternate dimensions. Yeah, don't lie to a Venus and Pisces as well. Venus and Pisces, they loved somebody who's really good at dualism. Somebody who can take their mind out of the third dimension. They're special people. Venus and Cancers are like actually some of my favorites. I love a Venus and Cancer. Like somebody who has their Venus sign in your sun sign, or their Venus sign in your rising sign, that automatically is a great connection. Like, since I have my sun in Cancer, I love Venus and Cancers because I love the way they show love, right? So knowing these placements, like somebody who has their Venus sign there, you're automatically going to feel connected to this person, right? Like, it's going to be some type of attraction if they have these type of placements. Like, you have to know this, you know? Blessings, star seeds, all right now. Venus and Mars. If you see somebody in a relationship with a Venus and Mars, or like a Mars, Venus and Aries, you mean. If somebody has Venus and Aries, just because they raise their voice at their partner doesn't mean that they're yelling or it's in a bad way. That's just how they show love. They like to be assertive. They like to be in control, you know, Venus and Aries. So you have to make this person feel like it was their idea, you know. But again, this is depending on other placements. Like, if you have this placement conjuncting the moon, that makes that person a little softer, right? Oh, thank you for being here. I appreciate you saying that. This is why Cancer is my favorite sign. Listen, Cancer is super underrated. This is why the fourth house. How many people do you hear talk about the fourth house? Almost none is ruled by Cancer. Cancer is the most intuitive sign. Cancer has the most emotional intelligence. Cancer understands people. That's why they're so sensitive, because they're so sensitive to energies. Like, people always call Cancer sensitive without understanding what they're sensitive to. Cancers are sensitive to energies. That's why you can't lie to a Cancer, rising sun or moon. You can try it, but don't do it. Cancer is a very unique energy. Very unique energy. I'm biased, but everything I'm saying is backed up. Do you have any suggestions on degree theories? Nikola Stoyanovich is the person who made up the degree theory. So if you can find his book, Nikola Stoyanovich, or his webinars online, I don't want to gatekeep that. Like, y'all should definitely check that out. He's the person that he passed away. I think he knew too much, but he passed away. But yeah, much love to Nikola Stoyanovich. He invented the degree theory based off of a Placidus chart. Cancer in my 12th house. All right, y'all. I have 6 placements in my 4th house. Ooh, that is special. Wow. It says a lot about your family. But anyway, yeah, this is just something we do. Like, astrologers, we can literally do this all day. We can look at these charts. We can look at questions about astrology, because I don't know. It's like we get to nerd out on the thing that we love to do. Like, I can look at 1,000 charts all day, because you're always blown away by it. Like, I'm always blown away by what I see in charts, right? Like, these charts never lie. Charts never, ever lie. Ever. So know thyself and know why you're here. Know thyself and know why you're here. All right, so we started off this live with the meditation, right? And then we start talking about astrology. I feel like this was a good meeting of the minds. I appreciate y'all being here. Kanye's into astrology now. Listen, everybody's about to be into astrology. First of all, you got this Jupiter conjunct Uranus. So what you're going to see, since Jupiter traditionally rules over Neptune, you're going to see a lot of delusional people online try to talk about astrology, y'all. This is not the time to be following fake astrologers. And I hate to say it that way, but since we have this conjunction and Pluto's in Aquarius, everybody is about to be in astrology. I put it on my predictions for this year. You're going to see Nike. Everybody is going to use astrology. It's going to be so played out. Artificial intelligence astrology is going to be played out. But continue to tap in with real astrologers, people that eat, live, and breathe astrology, and you're going to be okay. All right? So again, any of the 5D readers, I would recommend. They spent the last year plus, like probably a year and a half, learning about astrology. So those are the people you seen here, like Amber, Jamie. They spent a year plus in training, like astrology, sometimes every single day. So they know what they're talking about. All right. And that's rare, because I'm not going to do any astrology classes in 5D Mystery School for a while, like probably not for a year or so. You know, those don't happen all the time. The students appear when the teacher appears when the students are ready, right? So y'all are hearing about this right now because you're probably going to be somebody who learns about astrology and changes other people's lives. If you weren't ready, you would not be hearing this information. So anyway, I hope y'all have a blessed human experience today. Don't forget to look at your annual perfection so you can know which year you're in. And I'll see you at the next live. Peace.